If something on the network is, in air quotes, broken, we want to go ahead and identify, why it's happening. Is it the communications between the two entities, or on a server, is there a certain service that's not running that should be? And in a checkpoint environment, there are dozens of processes and services running. And if we're troubleshooting, it's handy to know the tools we can use to look at the processes that are currently running and in place to resolve a problem. So here's a high-level overview of some of the processes and services that are running on a checkpoint server. Here we have CPM, which is the main service that makes the management server run and go. And then we have some additional services as well. FWM handles the communications between the server and our administration PC that's running Smart Console. CPD is a checkpoint daemon, and that's a generic process that's used for many other checkpoint services. And then there's CPCA, which is involving the certificate authority in a checkpoint environment. And regarding APIs, application program interfaces, which refer to additional ways besides just the traditional Smart Console options for managing and working with our checkpoint environment, we can use a little executable and application called mgmt_CLI, and we have that available in both Linux and Windows for sending commands over to our management server. dbSync is just what it sounds like for synchronizing information, including log information and object information. And FWD is a process associated with logging. We also have some databases that are used as far as collecting and storing the information, and Checkpoint provides an incredible and very fast option for sorting through and retrieving information based on a search. There's also a logging core process called RFL. And so although it's not likely we're going to memorize all those terms and acronyms in one fell swoop, it's handy to have a general idea about what those services and daemons do, and that way if there's a problem, we can go ahead and take a look and see if any of those specific ones are not running. So case in point, what would happen if we were connected here from our management PC over to the management server, which in our topology is right here, and what would happen if we turn the FWM service off? Well, at that very moment, because FWM is responsible for the communications between Smart Console, the app running on this PC, and the management server, if we killed that process, we would immediately lose that Smart Console session that we have between the PC and the gateway. So we're going to log on here to DCNUG and running Smart Console, log in as admin. And from here, we'll click on the left on Gateways and Servers. Here in our standalone deployment, we have the manager and gateway running on the same device. So we'll right-click on this manager-gateway. From the drop-down, we'll hover over Actions. And then from the submenu, let's go ahead and select Open Shell. We'll log in as admin. And if it's the first SSH session, it's going to give us an opportunity to verify the fingerprint. We'll click on Yes to continue, and then give it a moment to connect. So here in this command line shell, let's type in the command cpwd_admin space, and then there's a boatload of options that could go after that, and we're going to use the option of list. So we'll press enter, and let me actually make that screen bigger. So I'm going to maximize this window, and I'm going to hit the up arrow key and launch that command again. So here we have CPM, which is the main component for the security manager in Checkpoint. Then we have CPD, the checkpoint daemon, which is a generic process for many other checkpoint services. Here we have FWM, which is responsible for the communications between Smart Console apps and the management server. And that's the service, as a demonstration, that I'd like to go ahead and disable or stop so we can see the real-time results of that happening. So I'm going to restore this window size by using the Restore Down option up here next to the X in the top right. So we'll click on Restore Down, and what we'll do is we'll just hit the up arrow key for cpwd_admin space list. We'll use the backspace key, get rid of the list, and instead of that, we'll use the command stop space -name space, and then we'll type in FWM, and it'll stop that service. So we'll press enter, and wah, 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 the connection with the server was lost. Any unsaved changes will be preserved. And then we have another message indicating that Smart Console has experienced a serious problem. So I'm not going to bother sending the report in. I'll go ahead and click on Close Application. And then if we wanted to launch Smart Console again, we could. But the problem is, even if we launch Smart Console and try to connect, because the FWM service is down, we are not going to be able to log in until that service is up and running again on the manager. So even if we tried, and let's do that real quick. We'll put in the password for admin, click on Login, and it's not going to be happy. And it's even giving us a little clue to make sure that all the processes of the server are up and running so that Smart Console can connect to the manager and allow us to manage it. In this nugget, we've taken a look at a few of the processes and services that are running on a checkpoint manager that make it functional. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to Thank you for viewing.